So I'm Gary Minto, Associate Medical Director for R&D, and it's on International Clinical Trials Day, really appropriate that I'm here at the site of one of our COVID vaccine trials.
When the pandemic kind of hit and lockdown started, our team was kind of scattered to the four winds, really. We had some of us who stayed here to deliver COVID-19 research. Some of them were working from home, but shielding at the same time. And we also had other staff who were redeployed to the hospital. It was strange in a way because we're so used to being such a smallish, cohesive team. It was just a little bit surreal.
So I would say for me personally, it has been a roller coaster. Very, very busy. Quite pressurised. We've all felt the burden of wanting to deliver treatments for patients, seeing what they're having to go through, seeing what everybody has gone through as a country and globally. I think in research you feel that pressure to actually find something that gives people hope. For us, it was get this research done so that potentially it could be a treatment.
So it's been amazing to be on the other side, to be a part of the solution, finding people to help with these trials.
The thing that stood out the most for me, I think, was when we did recovery. We did the recovery trial. And when we first started off, we had different drugs that we were trying, one of which was dexamethasone. And very early on, it became apparent that actually this drug worked. So then that drug became normal standard clinical care. Because normally it takes a long time for clinical trial drugs to become part of routine care, but that happened almost within weeks. And you see it now, and everybody now is treated with dexamethasone. So it's nice to see your work, all your hard work, sweat and tears, all the trauma of running around and trying to get these patients into studies, now that if you come into the ward, if you're unfortunate enough to come in with COVID, we've got something we can treat you with.
I think COVID has really opened people's eyes to the benefits of research and what it can do, not just for the numbers on the paper, but what it actually does for the patients. A lot of our patients that are on research trials, they come in and they have their visit, but along with their visit, they have certain scans, they see certain doctors, certain tests that wouldn't normally be offered in their standard of care. And they feel like they are getting more help for their conditions. So a lot of people are thinking, actually, if I'm a part of this, I'm getting that extra level of care. So a lot of people are really wanting to be a part of research. And I think from people seeing with the vaccine studies and things like that opens up those doors. So we're definitely getting a lot more people interested in research.
Actually, if I'm very honest, the people I was most impressed with were younger generations. They were flying in and more than happy, which, you know, I can understand a grandparent, their sort of altruistic points of view and wanting to do things. But for, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds putting themselves out there, I was truly astounded by the public's wish and want to take part in research. They are the people who've impressed me the most.
Yeah, I think the response has been amazing.
It's made people realise how important research is, and actually we wouldn't be where we are with any drugs without research. People volunteering not only their bodies but their time. It is a privilege actually to be part of that journey with them, and I don't think that's always seen. I think some people still think researchers, you see people sitting behind a clipboard, whereas actually we are healthcare professionals, we are out there, we are delivering care. We are part of the care pathway. We are a treatment option for a lot of our patients. And particularly during COVID, it was an option for them. It was an option for patients to get drugs that they wouldn't necessarily otherwise be able to access.
I think research is going to be a lot more prominent in part of people's care when they come into hospital. I don't think it's going to be a straightforward pathway anymore where you get this treatment and then you go home. I think a lot more consultants are going to be thinking, well, we have these studies that we could be using.
Clinical research has shown people how it can deliver treatments and vaccines at speed and really change their lives. For people who work within the NHS have seen how we can work alongside them, how we can embed research in their areas, and actually it's not this scary, horrible thing that happens. It's actually a really powerful, wonderful thing that can happen. And I would like to think that we can push what we've done in COVID into other areas, you know, to not just help those patients, but to help lots of patients, because that's what research does. It gives people hope.
It feels amazing to be part of making a difference.
I would like to say thank you to the people I've worked alongside this last year. They've been amazing, and I think they've shown a great resilience and commitment to patients and to the cause, and I salute them really.
This year has been a year like no other for emphasising how critical research is as part of everyday clinical care. And clinical trials like this one have found our way out of this pandemic. This has only been possible because of the efforts of every staff member in our healthcare system. So I'd like to thank every nurse, allied health professional, doctor, administrator, manager in the hospital for the critical part that they've played in embedding research into everyday clinical care.
I'd like to thank everybody who has played a part in research, whether you're a participant, whether you're a member of staff who've worked on the studies, whether you're worked in the hospital and have accommodated us and have been very welcoming to us, to the pharmacy teams, particularly when it's been late night requests for medications at weekends, out of hours. We've been quite demanding at times, but they've been incredibly supportive to us really, and all of our team, because everybody's worked so incredibly hard. So thank you to everyone who's been involved.
Particularly in research, the work still goes on. There's still masses to do.